store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Three down. Switch it. Alert. Check three.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Check. Lucky.
Running, it's Drake. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Drake. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. And they'll throw it with Rosen. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Now Rosen on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rosen got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Back north. 3 down, 3 down. Check 9, check 9. Hey, check 24.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, and the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. If that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You've probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Throwing again on second down. Rosen, incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Middle. Hey, Charlie.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Albert Wilson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. 2 excellent drives for them to start this game, both ending with touchdown passes.
Yeah, they're off and running, even though they finished things off through the air. Gotta like what you're seeing from them so far. Being able to maneuver offense, take care of the football, and then ring that bell at the end with, as you said, 2 touchdown passes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Monday. No. Me. Mike's partner. Monday.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. And this is caught. It's Parker. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far.
Monday.
Rosen will throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the...
Dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
We won it. Come to
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Gonna look deep for Wilson. That's gonna be knocked away and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2 times. We got 3 minutes.
From the 39, Rodgers. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
Watch the curl. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Mike 52. Mike 52. Watch the run. Hey, orbit. Here we go.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Returnable for Grant. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go. Slam, slam, slam. Hey, alert, alert.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
54. Mike 54.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And he's going to go down again. Brian Burns in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Let's go, let's go.
First and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a...
Throwing is Rodgers. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on.
On first down, here's Breida. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Back north. Mike 52, Mike 52.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers taking a shot for Samuel. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
52's the mic, boys. 52. It's out. Hey, Alpha. It's out there.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here comes Grant on the return. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Nice, sweetheart.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Flush to his right. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. Oh, Rosen is stripped of the football, and the Panthers have recovered. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And this is Parker, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
They run it with Breida. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line, and the try for two, unsuccessful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go four verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. And he finds Parker here, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded about a yard deep. And he spins through. And some strong running.
We play to win. Let's go.
At their own 27-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. They juked him, and he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. On play action, Rodgers taking a shot. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll start the drive with a give to Walton. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a second and 5. Rosen off the play action. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Walton. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Rosen now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. To throw is Rosen. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now this throw caught left side. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Sanders' kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, there was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded at the 33. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From just shy of midfield, Rosen caught by Wilson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen caught. It's Wilson. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Here we go.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Throwing again, it's Rosen. Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack. Rosen, his pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll run. This is Walton. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Mark Walton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drop.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Rosen looking to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Rosen. Escapes the sack. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by James Bradbury. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you just...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Push him back. Watch twist. 26.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, I 7. Check. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Hey, let's get on.
Now Rodgers. This is Johnson. He's got it. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Jump out! Hey, check. 3,
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Kelly, jump left, Kelly.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Taking a shot for Samuel. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
50 minutes, 58.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Breida. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Dolphins' 14-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Panthers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. Almost like, it's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Let's go.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Rosen will throw. Wilson's got it complete. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Walton, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They run again with Walton. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Here's Rosen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. From midfield now, here's Rosen. He completes it to Wilson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Walton. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
This is Scarlett on the carry.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They turn to Scarlett again, and the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Here's Walton. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back out.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful.
And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Miami, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.